Hi everyone! Today I will show you how I want to paint my Imperial Guard. I used my figure from Warhammer Plus for this, but the style can be extended to any Imperial Guard. In this video I use several techniques, such as oil wash, dry brush, to save time on many points that I can put this time into details. The first step, we spray the model black. I use Vallejo black primer, but the brand doesn't really make a difference. You also can use paints from Games Workshop or Army Painter. Next, I spray Death Guard green zenithal onto the model. By spraying zenithal, we simulate sunlight, and the color only hits the areas that should remain light. This also means that everything in the shadow is dark. This will help us later with shading and highlighting. Because we lose color intensity later through the oil wash, I use Elysian green on the brightest areas to highlight them. To spice up the armor a bit, I decided to paint this tactical painting onto the armor. However, this step is optional. Then you can paint everything that is fabric with Carex stone from Games Workshop and paint all weapons, bags, cables black. Now we come to the oil wash. You mix these with white spirit to liquefy the oil paints. This spreads into all cracks without much effort. In my case, I made the oil wash a little bit too liquid. Here I recommend using a little less white spirit. The nice thing about oil paints is that when they come into contact with white spirit, they become liquid again. This means you can adjust the shadows as you wish. I use disposable makeup brushes for this step, but let the paint dry a little bit and rub it off very carefully. After the minis dry, we can start with the highlights. First we outline the camouflage pattern. Pure white was just too dominant, so I went for a mix of 70 to 30% Death Guard green and white. Now we highlight the rest of the armor. I use a 70-30 mix all green camo from Games Workshop and toxic yellow from Vallejo. Here you can simply highlight the edges with the side of the brush. Take your time here. This step is very important to take your mini to the next level. For the fabric, I use pure Carex stone. Now we can dry brush all metallic objects with metallic paint. For this we can use, for example, Lead Belcher from Games Workshop. Rub the paint onto a piece of paper until there's only a little bit paint left on the brush. For the smaller objects, you can apply the metallic paint directly. To darken the metal colors a little bit, you can use non-oil. Simply apply this directly from your pot. Then you can paint all the details you find on the model. In my case, I paint small lamps to make the mini look more interesting. Now we finally come to the head. I first primed it with black and then with white. In my case, the white paint just doesn't stick on the plastic that well, so I only use the black primer as my first paint. In the next step, we use the contrast color Guillemot Flesh. Don't mess around with this color for too long and try to apply it with one brush stroke. This way you won't get any stains. Now we can finally highlight the skin. For this, I use Cadia flesh tone with a little bit white. Because we worked with contrast color before, I can see exactly where I need to set the highlights. After that, I just need to paint the hair black. As a final step, we paint the lens of the glasses with Troll Slayer orange and add a small reflection into it. Then we can highlight the rest of the glasses, and that's it. I hope you liked my tutorials and of course my Austrian accent. If so, please leave a like. Thanks and see you next time.